Google takes 10% of what I earn, TikTok takes 75% of what I earn, then Ghana government also wants to take some.
Because the finance ministry is trying to keep or get something out of the gig economy, they slapped a digital platform tax. For example, if you were to do an ad on Google or on Facebook, AdSense, there is a local tax VAT that has been slapped on it that you have to pay. So they show it to you that if you're paying $100 to boost a post, there's a 15% or so that you pay in addition. So you pay 115, and that 15 is reported to the finance ministry. Now, when the gig worker becomes a legal entity who is paying his tax based on his revenue, will have to have a conversation with the finance ministry on that tax. That is an indirect tax that has been imposed on the gig worker through the platform. And I will be in support of that position that says you can't have a platform tax that is passed on to the gig worker and then government taxes the gig worker again. That amounts to double taxation. Because you need to know who the gig worker is. It can't just be a carte blanche thing. So the Labour Ministry has some platform that allows us to know the number of gig workers and what they are doing. Because that's the only way the ministry can intervene for you if there is an issue with the platform. Now, with that, we can say to the finance ministry, this is how much revenue is coming in through the gig economy. If you take your regular paying tax off them and you take off the platform tax, you're actually going to encourage more numbers in there. So it's a projection that's done for them. And once that makes sense, we can have them take off the platform taxation, which is an indirect tax on gig workers, so that it is then the contribution through taxes and SNIT that the gig workers do. Because I believe that we shouldn't do a double taxation regime on gig workers. We don't do that on formal workers, so we shouldn't have that on the gig economy.